Hello. I'm going to have a quick stream where my main objective for this session is to nail the movement. Not on a grid, but a movement based on direction. So if I go back to the drawing board, we have the input, which is now keyboard. Which has this listen method. Okay. And the output of this is ongoing actions. Etc. And based on this, I should be able to create a system where the player can walk based on directions. But let's see where's the place of that. Okay, so I need all renderable in JavaScript. Let's ask ChatGPT something in JavaScript. This keyboard is kind of loud. The mechanical keyboard is good for gaming, but for programming, it's actually very loud for me. I don't like it like that. So I'm just gonna use a regular Microsoft stock keyboard. So in JavaScript, I'm using ECS to develop a game. In my update loop, I want to use all the registered systems in the same loop. Rather than having individual loops for individual loops or types of entities that have certain components bound to them. I think can you give me a high level example of a game loop update using an ECS in JavaScript? Okay, so movement system has the entities. In my case, the query has the entities, but it's fine. Okay, I have this movement system update. Okay, let me see. My design is based, so the system right now is kind of dumb, and I'm injecting the entities from a query. So like this. Here I'm actually exposing the query. But is this method of this method what you did described works very is very decoupled, has very decoupled code, and it's good from the theory point of view, but JavaScript, being a single threaded language, means that in the game loop I will have multiple loops, multiple loops over specific entities. As transpose to a single multiple for each as opposed to a single for each is the V8 engine able to somehow optimize this? So it says yes, in an ECS architecture. Hai Norbos, ce faci mă la ora asta? Yes, in an ECS architecture, you often end up with multiple loops in different systems, iterating over a subset of entities. This can seem inefficient, but it's a trade-off for the sake of decoupling and flexibility. Okay, we'll see that. Modern JavaScript use V8. They employ just-in-time compilation. I don't think V8 is able to optimize this for each. Maybe if they intersect or something like that in like caching. Okay, so then I will start looking into this. But anyway, efficiency, potentially okay. Minimize the work done. Okay, so the objective is to let's see. To go back to this. So make the player move on. First of all, make it move based on direction and then place him on the grid. Băi, să știi că mă tot gândesc cum să fac pentru că tu ai o idee foarte bună cu pastilele alea de informație pe care le pui acolo, dar nu știu ce să zic. Mie mi se pare mai interesant așa să fac un tutorial de cap-coadă, ceva de genul fast tutorial or something like that. Dar e bună și metodologia ta, să știi. Bun. Deci, ok, dacă mă uit, if I look in the old engine, ongoing action is bound key. I need some sort of method that I should know that the keys are pressed. Public are keys pressed. Actions. It's kind of incorrect because the keys are pressed. Yeah, it's okay. Update the code. Mining actions. What is this? I changed it to key. Chiar ai putea să faci chestia asta, tutorial de multicursor în IntelliJ. Că de fiecare dată uit care este. Știu că pe Windows este Alt-J și aia pe Mac mereu îmi scapă Command-Shift something. Dacă n-ai făcut deja, evident. Așa. Hai să punem un test pentru asta. Că mi se pare importantă metoda, o să o folosim în exterior. Ce am zis ăsta key down listener? This is key down callback. I am zis listener pentru că așa se numea în bullshit. Callback. Actually, Shift F6. Ia mă, Shift F6, că niciodată nu merge Shift F6, pe Windows merge. Pe Mac. Mai am de învățat. Ok, hai să vedem. Deci simulăm un W și facem expect input R key pressed to be true. Ok, rulăm astea. Console log, ok. Hai să... Nu mă interesează asta. And now we go back to this, and it needs to be a system, but I'm gonna build it outside the system. So if position actually I think everything that has a position will also move, right? But let's not make the dino renderable at this point, and we're not going to give it a position. So if it has a position, then it should be able to move. Okay, now let's think about a system which takes this query, which I totally forgot what I was doing here. So a query has executed. Okay. is a dataset filter. On the match entities. Okay. I should rename this at some point because it's kind of stupid, but we'll go with execute. And the system, so let's assume that we are in a system. Move entity. Okay. How do we know that this entity is walking? So the previous code, this is the code for the player, but it doesn't make sense at the moment. Position. So I need to see if what's the state? How did I do this? Calculate future position. Okay, I think I will attempt to do this without looking at the old code. So move. The keys are pressed. Okay, so if is player. No, if it has keyboard, if entity has keyboard, wait, not this keyboard. Oh, shit, not this keyboard. Actually, it's correct. Assignable. Say what? But I registered it in the on the prototype. Just out of curiosity, if I put this here, says missing bitmasking properties, but it's not missing out these. So wait a second. Add component, new keyboard, okay. And where did I test has component? Holy shit, I don't have it tested. What? So wait, I have only one test for the entity. Okay, this is a component test. Or is it? No, this is an entity test. As component. Huge mistake on my part. Hi, Everton. Huge freaking mistake. So, okay, we only need body. Actually, you know what? Let me put these two. Expect entity has component body to be true. Okay, and we actually have this problem here as well. Position is not assignable, is missing bit mask. Okay, let's see. T extends component. So if this is type of component, then I'm not going to have this. This disappears. What kind of trickery did I do here? Okay, I remember having this issue. So I need it on the prototype. Wait a second, I'm kind of confused here. So in TypeScript, what is the difference between function and component and function component type should look it up in the documentation. Type for the parameter here component is expected to be that is defined elsewhere in your code. It will be an interface class type alias. Okay. Function component type. This syntax is actually incorrect in TypeScript, and we use that. Type of. Okay. I messed up the question. Type of. I mean, somehow I know the answer, but let's see. Yeah, okay, component instead of component. Where type of should be something that is extended from the component. Expects the component class, not an object. Okay. So function, in this case, type component refers to the type of component, not the instance. Correct. Okay, yeah, I got confused a little bit there. But then my declaration of component is messed up. So when you add a component, the extends, okay, constructor add bit, right, has component, and has component, in my opinion, should be something like, I also broke this, which is interesting. Oh, okay. So let's leave this here. And then has component is like t extends component. And this is instance of t which could have that. But then the problem remains because type of body is not the parameter. Wait. T extends declaration type of T. Can I do this? Okay, I got another idea. What if this is so I'm looking at something that extends the component but also has these properties. Component. What if I do this? Export type component. What if I do this? And okay. Let's see if type. I can't do this. Is breaking. Okay, quick idea then. Quick idea. Type component is equal to this. Okay, export type component instance. And then I have extends component instance. Property bit mask is missing from the type body. Ah, yeah, it's missing from the type body, yeah. Okay, so we have the problem of the prototype or the mixing problem. Where you have a type which extends the component. But then it says body is not of type component because body is missing these properties, which is correct. which is correct in TypeScript, but in JavaScript it works. Maybe rethink the component. What if the component why didn't I put bit mask on the component? That's the question. So let's see, I add a bit to components bit mask. I get it. So when I registered it in the composer registry, the component registry, I add the prototype. So it's component declaration, which is type of component. How do I type hint the component class with a property called bitmask that is only available on the prototype. Yeah, I did that. So component with a bit mask, implement the class. What static bit mask? Bitmask is an instance property. If you want bitmask to be a static property, a property of the class itself, not of its instances, you should declare it as both a static in both interface and class. Oh shit, this is what I need. Well, I wish I missed that, but I tried that before. The thing that I missed is declaring this property as static, because my components are registered once, so the bitmask property needs to exist on every instance. So it's an instance property. If you want bitmask to be a static property, not of its instance, you can declare it as a static. Okay, component. Let's try this as well. Now that I've tried it in the past. So basic component bitmask begin extensive I component, and now static bitmask. Wait, what? Oh, implements. Okay, bitmask is missing on type component. So why do you try to type prototype instead of class inheritance? Let me see how can I explain it in an easy way. Okay, where should I go here to... Actually, I need to explain this myself again. So each time you register a class. Each class, when you register it in the system, it will be assigned a unique ID, which is a big int. So that means that it doesn't matter how many instances of body you have. You can have new body here, new body here. That property will stay on the prototype, because that is used in the system to filter the entities by this bitmask. Okay, bitmask. So what was my... I don't think... That is a static ID on component side. I think you're right with that. I think I totally missed that. But you still need an instance prop, which would be the reference, I think, of all the component IDs on the entity side. Instance prop. Bitnoise, okay. But the system, I mean, wait, so I already have the system in place with the bitwise stuff. What you're saying is, if I would use static, let's see, let's make a test here. Static. Okay. Okay, close this, I don't care. Oh, wait. So it's static, okay, going back here. Now on the instance, I'll see if this would be JavaScript, this will be very pretty easy, but now it's a static property, so I don't have to refer to the instance, I have to refer to the how do I refer to the class name here? Because here I do new component. Okay, let me see. Test static const new test. If I do a is undefined. If I do test a, it shows me that, but from a constructor I need to get the constructor name. So I need to call this no, I can't do this. How do I dynamically? Can I dynamically? But this ID has nothing to do with that. Just clear up how do you build entity from components. So okay, let me start from the beginning. So there's this package ECS. It's already on the GitHub, and I'll explain it right now. So ECS source. Okay, so maybe with the tests, component test. So you create two components or one component. Not a good example. In order to create, so first of all, you need to create an entity. The entity is not created from components. So you create the entity, which is just a placeholder. In ECS, entity is just a, it's like it only has an ID. In my case, it has an ID and some other stuff that it doesn't matter, it's general for everybody. Then on the entity you can add as many components as you wish. Components, when you add them to the player, there are instances. Yo, hi again. So adding a component to an entity means that it is assigned a bit mask. It changes the bit mask, because when it changes the bit mask, then I can use that bit mask in the queries later. So now is just a question is, has component, can I make this work? And can I make it work so that it knows that the bit mask is dynamically added during the add component phase? So you see, if we don't have the bit mask property, then it will throw an error because it was never registered. So when we register a component here, it is assigned a bit mask. Registering a component on the declaration, we add a bit mask. Oh my god. So okay, I need to go back to the ECS, because here is the solution. Now when I add a component, it's actually the instance. The instance doesn't have the bit mask. Yes, but both entities. So forget about entity. Entity is just like a stupid class. When you add components to that entity, the signature changes. You see, the class entity has a component's bit mask. Every time you add a new component, this bit mask is added. It's like it's being transformed, like 1 0 0 1 1 0. It's like this. This helps me later. Doesn't matter how right now. Problem here with TypeScript is that during the adding, here you add something like new body, which is an instance that can have width 1, height 2. Because the component is just a container for data. It's again a stupid class. It's just a container for data. And then when you get the component, you get it based on the type. So you get it based on the get component, give me body. Give me the component of type body. The bitmask property is something that is dynamically added to a component when it's being registered. So that's my problem, because I need to tell TypeScript, hey, body was augmented here with a new property called bitmask. But going back to this, would it hurt to have this as static? Christ. It hurts because I don't know how to call it. How about, so then I use this hack, should I say, is it a hack or not, which tell this, okay, on this instance I have the bit mask, but then I still have this problem here where body, I mean TypeScript doesn't know that here something happened. So I kind of somehow need to tell it, dude, this is body plus the prototype. So can I dynamically change a type in TypeScript? Let's say that, is this during runtime? During runtime, I add a new prototype component property. How do I further type hint the new class? It does not have to know. Well, I could force it, you know, I just don't like it because that's the customer facing code. But use type assertions. Oh my god, as any. Okay, what is this? So add new class to prototype. Bam, my class prototype. My class with new property. Okay, I don't want to do this because mine is dynamic. This is designed to be at compile time. I'm sure I can do this somehow. I mean, what if these would be optional? Say like this. Polymorphic this, but probably won't do what you seem to want it to do. Have another idea here. So what if, say, component with prototype. This is exposed. Wait a second, so So I think I'm making a mistake here. The declaration is a type of this. And then here at the declaration, this is absolutely stupid. I mean, yeah. Okay, I'll work with this. I gotta say, sometimes TypeScript is not the TypeScript fault. It's just mine that I'm just trying to use JavaScript as it was designed with prototypes, and it's very hard to work because the basically you can at runtime you can change the way a class behaves by changing its prototype, and that's confusing for TypeScript because TypeScript only works at the build time. So you have to trick TypeScript in order to accept the prototype, which is kind of bothers me. Okay, and now we have a different problem. What is this shit? Wait a second, how did I get here? What, wait. Oh, okay. Okay. So, please, I want to go back to my own stuff. Please, TypeScript. Okay. ChatGPT was like not getting it. Not getting it at all. So I have to remember my goal is to go back to this with this engine. So this is my main focus. I registered a component. Okay, I was here. Move the, if the entity has keyboard, which is debatable on the property that it should have, it doesn't matter right now. Previously I was okay, I need to get the direction. So get direction is, I have two vectors, possible vector up, down, and left, right. So how did I do it? Get direction. So I need a method. This clearly will be in a service. Get direction. From keyboard. Actions. So it's like keyboard actions, input actions. So it's going to be something like this. And we're going to have it like this. If actions has move up. And I need the directions. Kind of redundant, but necessary. So directions should be part of the movement system. Up, down, left, right. Did I do it? I'm really curious if in the old engine I had something different. Don't think so. So up, actually I don't like to start from 0 in this case. Up, down. Well, this is fine now. None. Actually, none up. I mean, the direction should be set as well. Why does this always seems like a redundant stuff every time I do this? So this is a set of directions, right? So direction set add I don't know, it always seems redundant. Move left. But at least you decouple the keyboard from the okay. And then probably a stupid thing to recreate this all the time, but let's go with the flow right now. And now we have the direction. So basically, if I go and press the key, wait, this died. Okay, looks like I mixed something here. Why am I in the keyboard test? They don't match. I mean, yeah, you're right actually. At least for up, down, left, right. Yeah, you're right. Now let me figure out what happened here. So okay, bit undefined. Keyboard. Okay, I passed. Did I pass the wrong keyboard class? Move has component keyboard. I registered it here. And it has a bit mask. So let's see, has component. declaration prototype. Where is it? Component has component its own entity. So it's declaration prototype bitmask. My mistake. Okay. And set to 0. Wait. This is classic. Ah, okay. It's a 0 direction. And now when I press it, it adds to 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a second. So 4. Okay. Direction, get direction from keyboard. If actions size. Wait a second. I should protect this. If input has keys are keys pressed, do this. Okay, so now okay, else it should reset the direction, right? So if keys are pressed, I create the direction. If they are not pressed, I need to reset the direction. Just like the keyboard resets the keys. Otherwise, the player just goes in an infinite way. Okay, so let's just for the moment we're just gonna do something really dumb like direction new set, doesn't matter. Although this is clearly dumb because we are allocating a new object every time, and but for the sake of the demo. Okay, and wait, if keys are pressed, direction, we have direction, else cannot find. Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's a waste. I got confused. I was doing the right thing. I just got confused with the fact that console log stops actually. There's no processing, right? R keys pressed. Wait a second. R keys pressed. Are you shitting me? If is bound key, delete action. The key up callback is not doing its job. You see? So key, oh crap. Key up. I had it bind, it was bound in a faulty way. So right now it works okay. Going back to movement. R keys pressed. Okay, we have direction. We have direction, then we can compute the next position. So the way I did it previously is I was setting destination by direction. So I called, yeah, you're right, Xazi, you're right. So I called this destination, and destination is actually the next pixels where the character goes, and it's computed by its speed. In my case, also the tile width. So let's do this. Presume that where's the position? The position should be, this is the render image, but the position is actually 0, 0. We're gonna start with the 0, 0. And if direction, and then again is this weird direction stuff. If direction is up, then entity get component position properties, and then we change the properties of the position. Properties X, so it's -16. Properties X does not exist. Houston, we have a problem because component yes. Should have properties any. We'll see how to fix that. Doesn't matter right now. So up, down. How do what you did in add component needs generic to specify the type by a value. Okay, I think you should keep last direction in keyboard component instance. Last direction. Yes. I need to keep it. In the keyboard component instance. Okay. Last direction. Yes. For when you need like you need the inertia. So what did you do? What you did in add component needs generic to specify a type by a color. Wait, you're right. So yeah, if T extends component and this is T. Okay, declaration name does not exist on T. Declaration name. This is the constructor name. Declaration name. Why shouldn't this be prototype name? I think it should be prototype name. Let me think about this. So component. Wait a second. Because I know I responded to this problem on Stack Overflow. So class body, right? And then you have, oh shit, const a class. No, class body name. And if you have instance, so if you have const a class but new body, you do a constructor name. So here I have the declaration which should be name. Why? Okay, so on the declaration of the class, type of, yeah, it's type of, that's the, so it's type of component, and then it should fail. Let's see, demo. And now I need to tell it that it's actually type of, what the heck, extends type of. Does that work? Because I tried it. Let me see. T extends type of component and then T. Holy shit, it works. Yeah. So extends the type of component. Okay. Thank you. Okay, and now still got some trouble. Yeah, it should, but let's see. So these components, no, that now that's the problem is here. Wait. The return type is So it's like this. You get the declaration, which is type of component. And then this is, fuck's sake, here. Instance type of T. Of yeah, but I need to convince this. I need to convince my container that this is a instance type of component, I guess. Cast it. Cast it. So wait a second. I'm getting the component, then I'm returning the instance of it. Then component does not satisfy this blah blah blah. Wait. So instance. I'm having a hard time understanding this issue. So component does not satisfy type. Oh my god. So I'm storing instances, right, of component. That object does not know type of what it holds. But component is not correct. Oh, okay, type it here or type into it here, okay. What the? So you said to cast it here, okay, instance. You store there component, which is in TS term is an instance or anything that extends component. Yes. Okay, so back to here. So far, there's this weird situation with my setup where forget about this for a second, but my project doesn't like that I'm including packages locally, so it kind of says unresolved. I think this is an ID issue, maybe, or maybe something in here. Root dear. So I src. So I think this is the problem, right? Wrong. Unresolved. Whatevs. I don't care right now about this, because when I have it in the packages, I'll do some alias or something. But it's frustrating that it says unresolved variable when input actions is, and when you click it, it's here. So whatevs. Register all components. Right, so let's go to this and finish this as left. So it's on, oh, it actually was Y here, X here, left is minus, right is plus. So I need to wait, let's do like this. Const position, and I have equal minus. I think this should work, right? Property position equal. Ideally, you should add undefined to return type there in case the component you requested was not registered. I think I have a protection against that. Oh shit. You're right. Entity tests. Let's see. I had no protection against get component. So let's register a component body. Let's create an entity and put this, and then entity get component body should return, so expect body to be instance of body. Expect body to have to equal. Let me see if this works. Properties with, I'm not sure if it works like this, but and then to do the negative test, it works. Get component exception if we don't have specific errors, but component requested is non-existent, and maybe use the declaration name. Okay. Exception. Let's do this. Same test, but expect entity get component position to throw. Very good observation. Thank you for that. Really helps. Okay. Bum. Okay, so I'm now reading what you said. Ideally, you should add undefined to return type there in case the component you requested. Okay, I did that. Meant add it to the entity. When you add it to the entity, I already have an exception. So I should be covered right now. Well, I hope I understood what you said correctly. At least before going. Yeah, thanks for the confirmation. And now, at least the last thing I want to do before closing this session, because I got really, it's really late here. But this is very interesting actually. Grinding away in with the ECS stuff. So plus equal, Christ. Minus equal. Wait, up, down is plus equal. Okay, and now if we render based on this position, so we move entity and then we render it, we will get just a second. So x, y, we will have something like entity get component position, and it will have position properties x, position properties y. Oh shit, I messed up. It was not this. Here, it was here. So, okay. At least left, right works. Jesus Christ. Speed is kind of high. I wasn't expecting this. 16 pixels. I think a timeout at the keyboard. I always had a problem with this, but let me see. Up, down, up, down. is minus, down. Okay, move up. Oh, move down, down. Yeah. And here's the thing. I'm having this immense problem of understanding velocity versus screen refresh time, because I don't want to. I want this step to be based on the framing, on the frames. So I have a monitor right now which has 140 hertz, which is a 140 frames per second, and I have another one with 60. And I don't want to have a difference. So we're gonna look into that next time. And with switch you'd have type safety over enums. You mean doing a switch like checking the direction, case up, case down, case. Because to me this is like, this is fine. Let me see, what should be my goal next time? My goal is to put all these into a system. Entity component system, right? So I need to create a system for the movement, which should address only the player which should only address the entity which has the keyboard component registered. Also fix up this binding. It is. You can also do it without, but it involves a bit. Well, I will stay with the enums at the moment because let me see if in the old engine I used stuff like switch. I should add next time the sprites that make the character move left right, just like in here. That should be kind of easy, although I'm more concerned about the movement system. Function exhaustive, never return var. Sorry. What is this? if you feed it a variable, TS will complain if its type can be anything but never. Okay, I'm afraid I don't understand this. So if you feed it a variable, TS will complain if its type can be anything but never. Useful for checking if you handled all the num variants. Ah, okay. Well, you see, I don't want to handle all the enum variants here because I understand what you're saying. Because if I go back to the demo, you see you have these directions, none, up, whatever. But input actions are more than move up, down. There are also actions which don't belong to the movement but belong to a different binding of different action, whatever, different code. So I don't think switch here would improve anything, because when you move up you also can move left and right. So that's why I like it more like this. Where is the freaking demo? So I want it to go like this. But anyway, okay, makes sense. Okay, so at least I made myself clear on this. It's hard for me to focus. Let's see, never type. Never the model. I just want an explanation. Never. Any unknown object, void, undefined, null, never. Okay, the handbook. Never. Type represents the type of value that never occurs. This is something that I cannot wrap my head around it. So for instance, never is the return time for a function expression or an arrow function expression that always throws an exception. Oh. Okay. Hey, AYM12, thank you. See ya. Okay, got it. Okay, I think this is enough for me. I'm gonna types are sets of possible values, never is such empty set. My brain is fried right now, but thank you so much, Sazi. It's really good to have someone to talk to on these topics. Entity layer, entity screen. No, for real, it's very hard to have a conversation. Like, for example, at my previous job, and I worked at Adobe for like 8 years. in order to start a conversation, say for, hey, are we going to use ECS in this, you know, or that, you have to have your teammate had to be very interested in the subject, like it had to bring him some sort of monetary advantage. Otherwise nobody would discuss with you you know, like abstract stuff like this. And for me it's important to discuss it, because if I exercise ECS in a game, then I can understand why ECS is good in other scenarios, like in my daily job or whatever business I'm working on. So it's really hard to, yeah, but your help it's highly appreciated, so thank you very much. I'll come back tomorrow, and I think I'm going to work on the movement, and I want to test, I think no, I should work on the system, on the rendering system, or decouple the code that I just wrote into a ECS system and see that that works, because the ECS system should use the queries that I just created. And in that way I prove that the ECS system is actually helpful. Or I could use queries, but yeah. So